KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit carsplusguam.com for details. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Now on primetime, the man accused of fatally stabbing a 39-year-old woman in Tamuning is held on $1 million cash bail. Plus, the CDC has lowered our island's travel risk by 2 levels. And Tyler Mathanati provides details to the Guam Department of Education's 5-year strategic plan.
Hafide and good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. John Richard Bass faces murder in the first degree for the gruesome death that took place Sunday afternoon in Tamuning. He not only is accused of repeatedly stabbing a woman, but doing so in front of her children. In our top story tonight, we have more details about the horrific crime, but also hear from a woman from his past who knows all too well of his violent potential.
Surviving is exhausting.
Beauty Camacho is John Richard Bass III's ex-girlfriend. It was hard for her to hold back her emotions as she recanted the turbulent time in her life.
After we broke up, it was 9 months of just torture, like I mentioned, all the digital harassment, social media harassment, the spoof calls. He would break into my home, and when I would report him on all these violations, it was quite frustrating because reporting it to the police department takes a long time.
The relationship ended years ago, but hearing the news about Sunday's murder brought up the painful memories and heartache for Virginia Laguanya's family.
Yes, there's a system, but it needs to be faster. Like, we're going to wait hours and days and weeks and months, and in my case, years until this happens. That's too long. That's too long, especially when the pattern is so consistent already.
According to the magistrate's complaint, on Sunday, June 6, just before 2 p.m., police responded to Hotel Mayana in Tamuning to find 39-year-old Virginia Laguanya lying on her back with her head cradled in her 19-year-old daughter's arms. Bass allegedly repeatedly stabbed Laguanya all over her body, while her daughters were in the next room. The girls heard Laguanya screaming and ran into the living room where they witnessed Bass stabbing their mother. They attempted to pull Bass off, however he continued to stab her until he dropped the knife and ran out of the hotel room. Documents state the officers also noticed the 19-year-old daughter had lacerations on her thigh and arm. Bass was on the run for nearly 24 hours and avoided capture several times by running into the jungle. He was spotted near 1+1 Mart in Jigo, and as stated in the complaint, it took the combined efforts of Dededo Precinct Command officers, GPD Special Operations Division, and Criminal Investigation Division to support Bass and force him to surrender. He was taken to GPD headquarters in Tizon, where he admitted to being in a relationship with Laguanya and at the residence, but refused to answer any questions pertaining to her death. The shocking and sad details has Camacho feeling that this could have been prevented.
Sorry, I'm so frazzled because of how many times I've tried to report him and tried to report this pattern, yet nothing was done.
Bass was magistrated Tuesday afternoon. He is being held on a $1 million cash bail. His next court appearance is scheduled for June 18th. In district court, 38-year-old Charles Elmer Scharf II pled guilty to federal gun and ammunition possession charges. As stated in court, the defendant did not enter a plea agreement, according to his indictment on May 3, 2019. He allegedly had a .45 caliber pistol and 10 rounds of ammunition, which was shipped and transported in interstate and foreign commerce. The government noted that he was previously convicted on burglary, robbery, and theft charges when he allegedly committed the federal crime. The defense confirmed the facts, and his sentencing was set for September 7th. 2 women accused of using over $15,000 worth of SNAP benefits without authorization appeared for sentencing hearings in district court. Stephanie Munya and Merititz Barago pled guilty to conspiracy to use, transfer, acquire, alter, or possess SNAP benefits without authorization. As stated in court, Barago is the owner and operator of Laguanya Restaurant in Harmon and allegedly used Munya's federal assistance for her own benefit from June 2015 to June 2018. Over this time period, Munya allegedly sold the SNAP benefits to Barago almost every month in exchange for $600. Barago would then use Munya's Snap EBT card and PIN number to purchase food items from various Guam retailers. As stated in court by Assistant U.S. Attorney Ben Petersburg, Barago was identified as the organizer of this scheme. And holding back tears, Munya explained her circumstances while showing remorse for her wrongful doings and pleading for mercy. She was ultimately sentenced to 2 years on probation. Meanwhile, Barago, who faces prison time, her sentencing hearing was continued to tomorrow morning. This came after defense counsel Louis Yanza cited at least 3 cases in which the court wanted more time to review. The CDC has downgraded Guam's travel designation from very high risk to moderate. With more on what this means, here's Sabrina Salas-Matanani.
The CDC's removal of Guam from its stay-away list of countries is hailed by Public Health Chief Medical Officer Dr. Felix Cabrera as evidence that the territory is holding the line against COVID.
That says a lot, right? It says a tremendous amount, and so that our confidence in that our plan so far has been, working well. That the decisions we made are the right decisions thus far, and that we are practicing the least restrictive means possible. And so those are very, very important, things that to take note of and be very proud of.
Governor Lulian Guerrero says moving from level 4 to level 2 complements recently updated protocols that allow vaccinated travelers to enter our borders without quarantine. The moderate risk CDC travel designation also comes as the Guam Visitors Bureau prepares to roll out its Airbnb program for expatriates to travel to the island to be vaccinated. And according to the governor, she also plans to allow non-U.S. citizens to join the vaccination.
There is a responsibility that we have that's beyond just the United States, and that's to other parts of the world. And if we can help get that vaccination, numbers up and in a quicker fashion, that protects us more. And so, we are as strong as our weakest country, and so that's a key thing with this fight here. And so if we help everybody else and we have that opportunity to do so, and especially we have federal support to do that, then by all means, and especially if we get the added benefit of having tourists, come here and enjoy visiting the Mariana Islands, then by all means, let's move toward that.
The governor has already requested to increase the island's vaccine supply to expand shots to non-U.S. citizens.
Tyler Matanani takes us into our next story with the Guam Department of Education to provide the details on their 5-year strategic plan.
It was up for readoption last year.
In fact, that was the title of our original strategic plan, Vision 2020, a clear vision for education on Guam.
GDOE Deputy Superintendent Joe Sanchez is talking about the department's 5-year strategic plan. Like many things, the plan was put on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, as the island seeks the end of the dark tunnel, it's time to rekindle the development with a new, broader perspective on education. Sanchez explains how the department will hold open discourse through their virtual parent input sessions.
Between now and September, we're going to have kind of monthly input sessions where we would share our drafts with the community and stakeholders and anybody who's interested all the way up towards adoption.
The board has adopted 6 strategic priorities on how they will organize recommendations for the 5-year plan. They are leadership, curriculum, parent and community engagement, student safety, facilities, and finance and administrative services.
For example, in the leadership component, a lot of that has to do with training for our leaders and managers, both formal and informal positions. Continuing to support parental involvement in a child's education, that actually overlaps with 2 committees, talking about ongoing training and technology all around and how to incorporate technology into the classroom and in your homes.
The plan will also focus on options for high school students and the variety of career opportunities.
We know that not all students want to go to a 4-year college, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So some students might want to go to a 2-year college, depending on what they want to do. Some of them want to go straight into the workforce. So what we want to do is offer more opportunities for students to experience a variety of options, as they move towards graduation.
Sanchez says they feel that providing students with a clear vision for what will happen after graduation will increase the likelihood of them graduating. It becomes part of the long-term vision. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
Thank you, Tyler, and stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Half a day, As we look ahead to a brighter tomorrow, Matson's commitment to Guam and Micronesia remains stronger than ever. While the world around us is ever-changing, what remains unchanged is our commitment to you, our customers, and the island communities we serve. Shipping is what we do best, and serving our community is at the heart of everything we do. But we don't do it alone. This is why we support organizations that make caring for the people and the environment a top priority. We know that many count on Matson's lifeline services in the Pacific, and that's why we continue to work hard to ensure that our shipments remain on time all the time. Matson recently added another Aloha-class vessel to our schedule. We now have 2 of Matson's largest and fastest ships serving Guam from the U.S. West Coast and Hawaii. With our new state-of-the-art vessels, we stand ready to support the region's economic recovery. Thank you for the privilege of serving you for the last 25 years, and you can count on Matson to be here for the next 25 years and beyond.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich. You'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. $20 million in federal funding is being requested for new bus shelters throughout the island. Congressman Michael San Nicolas says he's asking for the funding for the Transportation and Infrastructure Bill known as the BEST Act. He's working with GRTA Director Selva Bauta to identify where to place the shelters. Currently, only 10 shelters are in use for the entire public bus system. In a statement, San Nicolas said the investment will result in a large bus fleet and fleet management facilities and technologies that are going to deliver for our people a public transportation system that we can all be proud of and our community sorely needs. Like its fellow uniformed service agencies, the fire department is facing a shortage in personnel. During a budget hearing today, Senator Tello Taitakwi questioned Assistant Fire Chief Mike Unkenko and Fire Chief Dan Stone about current vacancies. They told her they are short about 130 positions. Some are for recruits and others for promotions.
Actually, our number of firefighter recruits that we have vacant is 34. The remaining vacancies are for promotions.
Right.
In
I
South.
see.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
But
So
it would create that amount of vacancies upon completion of the promotion, because it creates a domino effect downwards.
I see.
Right, so as we promote up and roll people up, we create the vacancies at the entry level.
Those promotions that comes with additional funding, have you incorporated that anticipated for FY 2021? Have you incorporated it into your budget?
No.
Oy.
Assistant Chief Unkenko said the annual cost to fill all the positions is $3.8 million. A new law now gives woman-owned businesses a 5% edge in the awarding of government contracts for most products and services. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero signed Senator Amanda Shelton's bill in a ceremony today at Adaloop. The measure was passed unanimously by the legislature. It points out that less than 20% of local businesses are owned by women. The measure is meant to increase their participation in the economy and to address the traditional imbalance.
I always believe that when a woman says they're going to do something, they're not only going to do it, but they're going to do it fast. And they're going to do it expertly. So I just want to say that, as previous speakers said, this is a great day for not just the women of Guam, but for the people of Guam. Because when women succeed, the whole community succeeds.
A number of women business owners were on hand to witness the signing. They praised the new law as a benefit to their companies and a step forward in establishing a more level playing field for women. Department of Rev and Tax has processed and will be mailing checks or paying via direct deposit 3,183 tax refunds this week, totaling a little over $8.5 million. These include refunds that were garnished to repay GovGuam debts and are for air-free returns filed on or before March 11th of this year. DRT adds to check the status of your income tax refund, log into your individual account at myguamtax.com and use the lookup status of 1040 refund tool. A privately owned adult daycare held their soft opening recently, and questions were raised within the community as to when and why senior citizens haven't reopened to our island's Manamku. KUAM's Isaiah Uggan has more.
In Harmon last Thursday, the Helping Hands Adult Daycare, which is privately owned, held their soft opening at the Guam Business Center, and their grand opening is scheduled for June 15th. But when will Guam's 12 senior centers reopen to the island's most vulnerable? The Mayor's Council of Guam, in collaboration with the Division of Senior Citizens, run the centers and had shut down its operations last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. According to DPHSS Public Information Officer Janela Carrera, there have been discussions in recent weeks about the possibility of reopening the senior centers. She said in a statement that the agency is choosing not to reopen it because our Manamku are at higher risk. With discussions ongoing, village leaders are up for reopening. However, there are challenges that need to be addressed.
For the government itself, for our centers, there's still a lot of work to be done to kind of make it safe. Although the vaccination rates are up right now, with the centers are faced with capacity issues, and how do you tell one senior you can come versus another that you can't come? Many of them, prior to COVID, were already at capacity. So if we're at the 50% or 75% or having to follow the 6-foot distance or whatever else, we're really only at 1/4 of what we can actually have here. The other aspect is getting the facility up to par in terms of getting their healthcare needs. We know that many of the seniors have all these comorbidities with them. And so getting air filters in place, I think, would be a responsible addition to the current setups of how the seniors are.
Tammany Tumon Harmon Mayor Louise Rivera echoed Mayor Hoffman's concerns, stating that air filters need to be installed and that her village's senior and community center is not ready to operate.
And then, of course, all the renovation that's needed, because we were having pallets and pallets of food come in, for the food commodities and the distribution. So there's a lot of renovation and repairs that are needed for our center in particular.
She added that residents should also get vaccinated so they can return to normal activities at the center. She hopes renovations will be done soon. Meanwhile, PD Mayor and Council President Jesse Alex said it would be nice to see Manamkus come out, but the lack of manpower will be another challenge. Although discussions are ongoing, there are no possible dates of welcoming back seniors to the centers. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Isaiah Uggan.
HUD has approved the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority's reissue request of a community development block grant for the use of $12 million. The approval allows GURA to move forward with plans to extend the Learning Institute and aid in the funding the development of a permanent campus for the iLearn Academy Charter School. The funding will ensure that the facility will benefit low and moderate income families. The permanent campus will allow for the school to expand its capacity to 900 students. GURA Executive Director Ray Tapashna says they are elated to be a partner in the construction of a new charter school and that this will be a first for GURA, the region and insular areas of the U.S., since funding was made available to Guam. He adds that they hope to break ground on the new school by the beginning of next year. California Pizza Kitchen is looking to open their dine-in restaurant in Hagåtña and is hiring team members to kickstart operations. In anticipation of opening up for the indoor dining in the capital city, CPK will be conducting a job fair tomorrow at Beach and Shrimp in Tumon across PIC from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They are looking for all restaurant positions, including cooks, prep staff, dishwashers, bussers, hosts, servers, bartenders, and restaurant managers. Starting pay for cook is $9.50 per hour plus service charge. The restaurant was originally scheduled to open in June of 2020, but that got pushed back due to the COVID-19 pandemic. International Dining Concepts Human Resources Manager Jude Diaz shares the benefits of working as a full-time employee.
For the most part, anybody that earns up to 32 hours average worked, and it depends. We do offer vacation pay. We offer medical, dental, and vision insurance at a discounted rate for our full-time employees. We also have a 401k retirement plan that they can be availed of after a year working, assuming they're over 21 years of age as well. And we have holiday pay, of course, employee meals. That was a big thing for me when I first started having a restaurant job. You know, a free meal goes a long way. And then, of course, employee discounts after working with a company for a certain amount of time, too.
Interested applicants are invited to attend and bring a pen, resume, and to wear a mask or face cover for the event. All COVID-19 safety protocols will be enforced. For more details, head to KUAM.com. Sports is next. Keep it here.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Moss.
Bun, mayo, chicken pickle, bun.
Bun, pickle,
Blasphemy!
No bun.
The Naked Chicken Chalupa, only at Taco Bell.
Home, a place where I can go to take this off my shoulders. Someone take me home.
Home. It's more than wood, square footage, and a floor plan. It's where life happens, and moments become etched into memories. At Bank of Hawaii, we're proud to help families all across Guam buy and improve their home. Applying takes just a few moments, but the memories last a lifetime. Simplify by Bank of Hawaii. Welcome to tomorrow.
KUAM News, in partnership with the Guam Visitors Bureau, brings you the Guam Safe and WTTC Safe Travel Certified Program Showcase. Look out for this powerful symbol for visitors, island residents, and industry workers alike, as it represents establishments with a consistent global commitment to safety practices. Stamped with approval by the Guam Visitors Bureau and the World Travel Tourism Council. Every Monday on KUAM News will feature a different local business who's taken the Safe Guam and Safe Travels pledge to maintain health and safety standards to get Guam back on track. Log on to visitguam.com to see how your business can receive the designation, what businesses in our community are Guam Safe certified, and have the WTTC Safe Travel certified.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. Tonight on the show, we catch up with head coach E.J. Calvo. The men's national basketball team left Island today for Amman as they prepare to take on Hong Kong. Check it out. The Bank of Guam men's national team left Island, making their way to Amman, Jordan for their FIBA Asia Cup qualifier. Guam will play Hong Kong twice for a chance to advance to the next round.
Yeah, our team is taking on a little bit of a different structure. We have some younger players joining us for these games, and a few of our veteran players who are committed to their other leagues aren't able to make it. So it's kind of a next man up situation, and we're gonna go do our best with the players that are available. I think this team we put together is extremely talented. They're young, they're hungry, and we got a mix with a couple veterans that are going to bring some leadership and be able to help defend the post. And I think together we're going to be ready to accomplish our mission and get these victories.
The team went on a recent trip to Los Angeles to train at the world-renowned Sports Academy with Lakers assistant coach Phil Handy and his coaching staff. Our guys averaged 3 workouts per day, including performance training in the weight room, as well as skill development, game plan, and live reps.
The Sports Academy had an awesome facility, but also just the approach to being professional about how you play the game and take care of your body and recover. So the guys were playing 2 games in 3 days, and that off day is going to be a day of recovery and also mental preparation after we get the first game done. So it's going to be important that we bounce back and play even better in the second game.
Guam will face Hong Kong between June 13th and the 15th in Amman. If we are successful, our men's team will play their next bubble in August in Indonesia.
We have a lot of respect for Hong Kong. They have players that play professionally in China and several players that can shoot the ball from outside. They're not incredibly big inside, but they do have a couple guys who can defend the post and rebound. So we plan on definitely running a quick transition game, looking for early shots. We're going to put on pressure as we always do. And we're going to focus more on playing our game than really worrying about them and changing our style of play. And so that means that we're going to get up and down, and we're definitely going to put the ball in the hands of players who are going to make plays for us.
We have to put Guam on the map, you know. We're not very known worldwide. A lot of people don't really know where Guam is at. So, and this is one way we can do that in terms of putting us on the map and representing the island. It's a great honor.
We're just gonna keep working hard, and we're not gonna let Guam down. We're gonna represent Guam hard and put everything on our chest, Guam on our chest. We know what we're going out there for, and we got a mission.
Well, that's gonna do it for sports. We're back right after this.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
I'm gonna take these chains that have been holding me. Today's the day I'm breaking free. I'm gonna walk away, live to fight another day. Step aside, world, there ain't no stopping me. I'm gonna stand, I'm gonna win. I won't give up and I won't give in. The higher I can climb, the more this life is mine. Step aside, world, there ain't no stopping me. You'll see me blaze a trail to the Milky Way. I told you, world, there ain't no stopping me. Step aside, world, there ain't no stopping me.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
June 8th is a great day to have a birthday, so get your vocal cords ready and say it with me, everybody all around the world. Happy birthday to some very special Guamanians led off by Jerry Tyron. Happy birthday to my daughter Jerry, and I hope you enjoy and have a blessed day. We love you. Say Mom and the entire family. Great shout out, guys. And she may be known to the rest of the world as Christine Mesa, but around these parts here at KUAM, our beloved salesperson is known as the one and only Tintin. So, Tin, we hope you have a fantastic birthday. Let's all celebrate together. Let's do so safely, and let's make sure that you know how special you are to us. So, Jerry and Tintin, we hope you both have the best birthdays ever.
And that's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and be safe.
Day, everybody. Welcome to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. I'm Sabrina Salas-Matanani. In Health Check, we talk with Public Health Chief Medical Officer Dr. Felix Cabrera about summer travel and what island residents can expect if they plan on taking off for the summer. Dr. Cabrera recently returned from a trip to Saipan for some R&R. He tells us what you can expect.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Back to the motherland. So what was, the last time I had been on Saipan was December of 2019, the early part of December 2019, and I had not been able to visit home in that amount of time, in about a year and a half now. And so, as soon as the CNMI announced that they were going to have these opportunities for quarantine exemption if you've been fully vaccinated, jumped right on the opportunity and said, I think it's time for me to finally take a break, through this pandemic. And so, even though I was there, still be able to do some telework, which was great, but wasn't much. And so I did get a lot of time with family and friends. And so, but ultimately, it was a great experience actually going through the process, and I was extremely, extremely impressed by how organized the process was, and how well rehearsed they were and experienced in the process. And I'm happy to discuss more of that if you want more details.
Yeah, if you could just kind of walk us through what you went through when you landed in the CNMI, and what you did before your trip to prepare.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. The first thing when I read their algorithm, basically the flow chart, or the matrix as they refer to it, I initially read it correctly, that basically you've been fully vaccinated, and you have proof of that vaccine, which is again is similar to here in Guam, where they want to see that if you, like, for example, if you're coming from Guam, you've been vaccinated on Guam, they want to see that WebIZ printout that proves that you've been vaccinated, in addition to your CDC vaccination card. And the thing is that all of this is done before you even travel. So they have a health declaration form that's online. You fill that out completely, and it's detailed, and and for good reason. And so they go through that, and then you can upload the image or the document of your that verifies your vaccination, and then they review it, and then basically you get an email saying it looks good, and then you travel, and then you're already in the system as you go there. You don't even have to physically. I actually physically had my the WebIZ printouts and the cards with me the whole time, just as and then nobody ever asked, because they already had a copy of it. But what happens is that you go there, and you go through the process line, and then they shuttle you directly to Kanoa Resort, and then at that point everybody gets tested upon arrival, and not just and it's not an antigen test, the actual PCR test. So we check in, we all got swabbed, but then they give you a room, so because the test would take about 2 to 3 hours to come back. And so it was nice, actually, after waiting in line for a long time through multiple lines, and then finally being able to get a break and just hang out in the room for 2-3 hours. And they fed us during that time, almost fed us twice even. And so, but at 2.5 hours is when we got the call saying that, all of you are negative, and you're welcome to check out at that point. And they still kept track of us using the SARA alert, so daily monitoring of symptoms. So either a text message or a call we would get to verify that we weren't having any symptoms. And then the last bit of this is that on day 5, you have to return to get retested. And so that was the key difference there. And so it was no big deal. And so that was a few days before we were going to leave anyway. So when they're swabbed again and got tested, and at that point they, you get your results via email, and saying basically that we were all negative again. And so it was a really easy experience, and it was great. Would I say I read the matrix correctly the first time? When I looked at it again, I misinterpreted it saying, "Oh, I think we have to home quarantine until the 5th day," but then that was not correct. And they do want to verify your residence and make sure that your home is adequate. But other than that, it's not a home quarantine during that process. And so so it was great, and had a great time, and just came back in yesterday morning, and so it's been good. So I guess that brings me to what my experience was coming back to Guam. And so coming back to Guam, the health declaration form is one form, and it's a physical form. You fill it out, it's very quick and easy. And then after you arrive, before you get your bags, you go through a public health screening process, and you present your information, and basically they review it, and then it was pretty straightforward at that point. And then after that, it is informed of that you're going to be a part of the SAR alert here, and that's it. And so it was nice and simple. They didn't have to look me up because I had a printout of my WebIZ, so that made it a little bit quicker.
Travel tips for people who are heading out. It's summer, going on vacation, graduations, things like that.
Yeah, so travel tips, again, it's really, really simple. Masks are still in the key part here. If you're flying, wearing a mask is still going to be very protective. Flying in airplanes itself is not as dangerous as you would think, because they have really good airflow and air filtration rates there. But masking is, if you can wear a double mask, that's even better if you're comfortable with that. So that's really something that I would really highly encourage, and you're required to wear the mask anyway.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, Claire with Weekly Renewal.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Welcome back. Here's Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Have a day. I'm Clara Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal and bringing you my partners over at Synergy Fitness, Judy Rosario, Lily Lynette Regis, and our new surprise, our fourth partner. I'll let her introduce herself. Welcome, ladies.
Half a day. I'm Judy Rosario with Synergy Studios, and I'm really excited to be able to share our upcoming Sweet 16 plus 1 total 17-year anniversary. On June 12th, which is a Saturday, we are going to be celebrating from 7:30 in the morning all the way to 5 p.m. In-studio classes will be 7:30 to 12 o'clock, and then we'll end with our virtual class with Sam. It's a Vinyasa flow at 5 p.m. on Zoom. So please sign up with us. We're really excited. The event is going to be filled with healthy goods. We're also going to be celebrating with health assessments and all the classes that we have that we've gotten us through the pandemic. We have Center Fit, we have Cardio Circuit, we have Tahitian Fit, Yoga, Pilates, and then we're also going to have 2 classes from our cycling instructors. So please join us. It's going to be a really fun-filled day of activity, good healthy foods, and really just understanding where your body is and any goals that you want to set for summer. So we're excited to have everybody at the studio with us. If you are interested, we are going to also be practicing social distancing, so please log on to www.synergyguam.com, and that's where you'll be able to get the list of the different classes we have lined up. And we're also going to ask that you sign up for your class so that you can book it, reserve it, and then we'll see you at the studio.
Something else that is exciting is that we'll be having raffle prizes, and the biggest raffle prize is access to the 21-day detox. Now we're going on our 15th year of facilitating the 21-day detox. If you've never done the 21-day detox, now is your chance. to try it out. If you're not sure about the 21-day detox, you want to find out more information, come check us out on June 12th because you'll have an opportunity to participate for free as the raffle prize. So here's to Synergy. Happy 17-year anniversary. Here's to 17 years of togetherness, 17 years of fun, fitness, and health, 17 years of gratitude, and 17 years of vibing. Again, if you've never been to Synergy Studios and you want to check it out, come vibe with us. Saturday, June 12th.
Half a day. My name is Jezre, and I am incredibly excited to be part of the Synergy family once again. Take it back a few, 10, 11 years ago, we were trying to figure it out. I was given an opportunity to be a fitness instructor for Synergy Studios. At the time I had taught Tread and Shred, and being a person where fitness and wellness has always been part of my lifestyle, it was a different kind of satisfaction and fulfillment and reward in expressing that passion to our members, and just knowing that I was part of their success in their physical goals. And so fast forward to today, being given another opportunity to be part of the Synergy family as a co-owner, I was definitely honored and blessed. And so I am excited to be part of the team, and part of what I will contribute to the company is talking up mental health awareness. And so I'm really, really excited to bring that aspect of mental health into our studio family. So I really look forward to contributing that and just being part of the success that they've had for the past 17 years. So I'm really excited and truly, truly, truly honored to be part of Claire, Lily, and Judy's team, and the rest of our members and families.
Thank you so much, ladies, and thank you all. Make sure you check the website, synergyguam.com, or call 472-YOGA, or check Instagram page, Synergy Guam, because there's a lot going on, and I want to make sure that you reserve your spot for, of course, the anniversary celebration free classes on June 12th, Saturday, all day, and of course, International Yoga Day, June 21st. The 108 sun salutations at Pacific Star, outdoor ocean view, beautiful space, but that one will be limited to only 20 spots. So make sure you call, email, reserve your spot. Thank you so much. See you next time on your weekly renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Stay tuned, more extra after the break.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. District Court of Guam Chief Judge Frances Hedingo Gatewood spills the tea on the upcoming Pride Month Equality panel discussion. She tells us who is sitting on the panel and the open and honest discussion they'll be having to educate the community about equality and inclusivity.
Of course, we wanted a special guest appearance from former Chief Justice Benjamin Cruz, BJ Cruz, who's currently our public auditor. I think he's one of the pivotal persons in this entire community in terms of people feel comfortable in coming out. In fact, I'll share a story about that when we have our panel discussion. I BJ about that, and he started laughing. But anyway, that's just like maybe a teaser. But and then we also have the Lieutenant Governor, the Honorable Joshua Tenorio, Federal Public Defender, Leilani Lujan, Indigenous human rights lawyer and a very good writer, Attorney Julian Uggin, Francis Glenn Lujan, who's a teacher and speech therapist, Trinity Naima Hufana, who's the reigning Miss Queen of the Pacific, and as I understand it, trans, and Miss David Vente, a mother and professional athlete. So essentially these names were just suggested amongst the community and it was given to our committee. And so we wanted to kind of like, really explore the different members of the LGBTQ plus community. And so that's how they were selected. And another thing that we wanted to do is really try to see if these individuals will engage in an open and frank discussion to really educate the community about our community, about LGBTQ. I mean, some of us don't really know. I mean, sometimes if I say, I was just discussing that with one of my staff members, I may have said, this person is this person a trans or transgender or transsexual? And so sometimes I get corrected, like I'm saying it incorrectly. And I'm like, I didn't even know. So we're gonna have like really pointed questions, but nothing to embarrass anybody about. We want to see what their challenges have been through the years. What's really nice with our district court and the Guam Bar Association is we've been encouraged by the Administrative Office of the Federal Courts and our Ninth Circuit to celebrate Pride Month. And so that's why we are doing this. This will be the first time our court has done this. And so we're pretty excited to do this.
And you've got the very lovely Pride flag behind you over your left shoulder. Very, very nice.
Yes. Yeah, my staff put it up. They go, Judge, you have a flag. I said, okay. So they put it there.
No, it's also
not draped.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just draped on my chair, but it's not flying yet.
We hope that it will be at some time in this month. It's also worth noting, Your Honor, that these 7 members and the ones that you run down. I mean, they haven't been picked, on the principle of they belong to the LGBT community merely for that. I mean, each one of them is an outstanding member. Very, very outspoken, very well read. Each one, in their own respective rights, is a diplomat and an ambassador for Guam in general, and of LGBTQ, the experience, and having been, a lot of them have been through the struggles of self-identification, of having to maybe explain to some people, as you said, them discovering who they are, and then the coming out process. And I mean, I didn't want to when you said you've got that story about BJ. I remember I was in college, and I'm not sure if this is the story to which you were referring, but I remember when he was on the cover of the old Laddie magazine.
That's it. Yep.
Okay. That was a landmark moment for our island, for culture and Guam history. And I remember he was on the cover with his partner, and he was talking about his experience.
Exactly, and actually, it is. That was the moment I remember, and I'll get into it more in depth at the panel when I speak to Chief Justice Cruz. But I remember Judge Weeks had the Laddie magazine, and she came into my chamber. She was, Fran, look, BJ's gone public. I'm like, what? So anyway, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, it was like you said, there are moments in history where they're unforgettable moments, So yeah, and this is one of them.
Stay tuned. Jason's up next.
I'm gonna take these chains that have been holding me. Today's the day I'm breaking free. I'm gonna walk away, live to fight another day. Step aside, world, there ain't no stopping me. I'm gonna stand, I'm gonna win. I won't give up and I won't give in. The higher I can climb, the more this life is mine. Step aside, world, there ain't no stopping me. You'll see me blaze a trail to the Milky Way. I told you, world, there ain't no stopping me. Step aside, world, there ain't no stopping me.
These aren't your normal nachos. With double the seasoned beef and a large drink, it deserves a name with some oomph. Something grand. Or grande. It's the Grande Nachos, only at Taco Bell.
Welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. Here's Jason, Lids, and Gina.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Up Day and welcome to House to Home, everybody. Liz and Gina are here as they are each and every Tuesday, educating myself and by proxy you on the matters of real estate on Guam. It's a fascinating topic, a million different angles we could go, and we are going to take a look at another angle today. Ladies, I wanted to kind of like probe a topic that we've been talking about a fair amount on this segment, because last week we were talking about the fact that, you know, property may move through probate, and, you know, like it gets handed down from grandma and grandpa to dad and mom, and then to Junior and Mary and everything. So we're talking about multi-generational steps, but how about probate, like working laterally, maybe for married couples? I mean, you know, you're not talking about, you know, like going from one generation to the next. It's like a domestic union of some sort. Like, do those tend to be problematic in their own way?
Well, when properties are deeded, so for example, there's 5 of you in the family, and Gina was just discussing that if there's 5 of you in the family and it was probated, so the court deeds the property to the 5 individual. So just bear in mind, there's differences. So if it's just one big lot, then there's undivided interest to that lot. So you're all tied together, and one cannot sell without the other's consent. So all 5 of you would have to agree. Yes. So the other way is if you own property and it was probated and your 5 children, but there were 5 individual lots. Mm-hmm. So if there are 5 individual lots, each lot could be deeded to the 5 kids. So if the 5 lots were deeded, let's say to Gina, for example, if one of the lots were deeded to her, it would be considered sole and separate property. So it's given to her because it was part of an estate and it was probated. So even though Gina's married, that property belongs to her. Her husband has no interest, and they refer to that as sole and separate property. Guam has a community property law that states if I'm selling something, then, or I own it, and, you know, if something happens to me, of course, then it would go to John. But in this particular case, it's a little different because it was deeded strictly, let's say, to Gina, for example.
Gina, this is surprising to me because so basically this applies to married couples that, I mean, you have to actually have like deeded property, or, you know, it just doesn't the fact that like you and your husband have been happily married for a very long time, if this hasn't been formally codified, it's not like, you know, it's going to be implied that he automatically inherits your property and everything like that.
Well, so we're trying to clarify, and we're not giving legal advice. You know, what we're trying to do is in our life experience. Yeah, this is what we've come across, and what we're trying to clarify is if I inherit property from my parents through probate, that property goes whether I'm married or not, because typically we believe if I'm a married woman and I buy property, whether I put my husband's name on that deed or not, he automatically has ownership to that property. But if I inherited the property through probate, it's not the case. And that's really the point we're trying to relay to family members and individuals out there. When you inherit property through probate, and that was distributed to you, just because you're married doesn't mean your spouse, your husband or your wife, you're not automatically on it. So what will happen is, let's say something happens to me, by law, my husband gets half my property. You know, my heirs would be, of course, I'm a married woman, so now I'm past. My heirs would be my husband and my children. So my husband's entitled to half of that property and my children the other half. And so they would have to go through probate, and they would probate that property that I inherited through my family.
Wait, one moment there, because you said, so is it by implication your husband gets 50% and then all your kids collectively get the other 50%?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the law here. The probate law here
Okay.
is, you know, if I'm a legally married woman, because common law doesn't apply on Guam, right? So I have to be a married woman. What if I'm a legally married woman, but I'm separated? It still applies legally in the eyes of the law. I am married. so my family, the heirs of that estate, which would be my legal husband and my children, will go to court and petition to split up that property. But there's also, if I want to make sure that my husband's entitled to that property, I could, once I inherit the property through court, I can then property to him. So now his name is on title. It's not automatic.
And I like how you brought up the fact of common law, because like Liz, as you know, many people on Guam, live happily and productively in those kind of like arrangements. They just, for whatever reason, they just don't get legally married. The judge doesn't marry them. They don't get married in church, whatever like that, but they have a thriving household. They're just not legally married.
Right.
What kind of problems does that present?
It means you don't have legal rights, don't have legal standing. So if you're married, you do have legal standing. But I wanted to expound on what Gina was saying. So if Gina was deeded that property, then what she could do is quit claim deed her interest to the interest of Gina and Leonard Campos. So and we've done that in some of our properties where one name appears, but then in order to allow both names, then you would, especially in this case, because it was probated, she could quit claim her interest in favor of her and her husband. And then the new ownership of the property will reflect Gina and her husband. Both names will appear. So, that's another way of quit claiming it and deeding it so that both names appear, especially in the probate distribution situation where it only shows one name. Okay. I again want to emphasize, we're just giving feedback based on what we've experienced with our different probate cases, right, how they've handled it. Yes. And we're not giving any legal advice whatsoever.
Absolutely understood. Okay, so now Gina, here's another common situation that tends to happen a lot on Guam is a happily married couple, for whatever reason, the marriage doesn't work, it dissolves, they get legally divorced, and then one of the parties winds up remarrying. That party was the one that was deeded property and they got it legitimately through probate. What did they do to actually then transfer the property that they had before to the new spouse? Probably a lot more paperwork, right?
Now you're asking legal questions, and we don't.
We can try to, I would love to bring in a lawyer to talk about like these things, because I mean the use cases and the situations for this guy. Oh, okay. So let me rephrase my question then. Like now I sound like a lawyer, right? Let me rephrase, Your Honor. How much of this type of transaction do the both of you and your colleagues as realtors tend to see, where it's like marriages taking different forms and having an effect on property?
We
see a lot.
Yeah. We deal in real estate, Jay. So yes, this comes up on a daily basis.
That often?
One form of another.
Very often.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you want to see what the divorce decree states, because that will determine how the property is distributed based on their divorce decree.
See, I would make a terrible lawyer, because I grew up always just thinking that if once you tie the knot, you put the ring on, you say, yes, God, till death do us part and everything like that. I just thought it means 50%, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine for 50%. You have educated me today that is certainly not the case in a lot of cases.
And Jason, I'm sure there's a single lady out there looking for someone with your mindset.
Not after I've just admitted how naive I am with property, or someone's going to try and take all my land. But that's a completely different discussion for a different day. Okay, so we got to run. But final thoughts on everything about what this means for maybe slowing down, like that real estate deal that you really want to close. How does it stymie the process from that deal getting done?
Well, we're not really slowing down. The reason we're bringing these issues up is to, this is about planning. Liz and I are planners, right? So this is about planning. This is about cleaning up your affairs, making sure everything is in order. If you don't do that, it's a nightmare. Imagine, Liz's scenario was there's actually 5 properties, so each person got a property. So that's clean and clear and easy. But what if you got title through probate to one large property and now 5 of you own it together and then somebody goes? I mean, it complicates things even further. And that's why we're bringing up these issues, is we want people to plan, to figure out a way to get their affairs in order so you can have peace of mind.
Just take care of it when everybody's getting along, because you certainly don't want to handle this when things are a little bit more contentious, I guess. At least we can agree on that. All right, so ladies, thank you as always. It's my favorite time of Tuesday is hanging out with you guys and talking about real estate. So thank you very much.
And that's our show. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please stay safe.